is consisting of the major three components: the businesses, the globalization of the businesses, the businesses they are doing their business in various parts of the world, in many countries, because of the global environment. They treat this world is a market, is a single market. They believe that the goods which they are producing will be acceptable or likable by the people living anywhere in the world, like the Pepsi, Coke, cars, Nokia, or many other things. Technology is also the global. Whatever the technology is invented or developed can be used, though there are still patent rights, copyrights. They are restricting the other countries to use without the permissions, but technology is also becoming global. Culture. Culture is the most dominant factor which has created the globalization, but nowadays countries they are feeling worried to protect their cultures. But nowadays people their culture or their eating habits, their language, the language which I am speaking is not my native language, but because of this impact that we are, this language is the dominant language. And another thing that you can see that before the globalization, people were traveling, they were taking the goods from one corner to another corner and finding the markets. Even though before the globalization, there was international trade. The countries they were trading, even the people, the individuals they were trading. Even before the Christian, that there was concept of the trade. And you can see that cow meat. We are living in a world where the meat of the cow is not liked by every person. Or in other words, I can say that the meat of every part of the cow is not liked by every person. People have the different tastes. Some people like some part, some people like another part. And another thing that if we say that if someone is fully dressed up, if you check the maiden of the items which someone is dressed with, you can find out that shoe belongs to one, the knickers or the pants belongs to other, shirts belongs to third one, the mask from another, the glasses from other, the hairstyle from the others, and many. You can see that this one, the genetic globalization. But people believe that globalization is only going to benefit the rich people, the rich countries. So globalization has made the goods the global or the international. The Nestle brand is everywhere available. One can easily understand. These are very famous and popular. This burger, there are various companies, they are well known. Burger, when you talk about the burger, someone talk about the burger, immediately it comes to your mind that which burger, which company. And most of the companies are the American companies. YouTube is also another famous and most dominant channel where you can find out everything. The Nike, and these are the famous or known companies. You can see that people, they are interconnected through the nets, mobiles. Another thing, very important thing, is that the markets of the world, they become global. The people who are living in any part of the world, they can invest any corner in any market. These pictures are showing especially the stock exchange markets, that not only the people who are standing in these markets they can invest, but The people through internet, through online connection, anyone living in my country, suppose in Pakistan, can invest in any corner or any international market. And this has supported the global environment and made the world as a global. How this world become the global? If we are saying that the world is becoming global, village like place where there's no barrier, no restriction, the things which are used in one part of the corner can be used by other people who are living in that village. This is because of the trade barriers. The most dominant factor is the trade barriers. This is China Wall. It's a symbolic, just for use for the symbolic purpose. There is a ditch in the walls, very stronger. Literally, this picture is suggesting that before 25 years, the world was very closed. Huge amount of the restrictions, the trade barriers were imposed by various governments, but now because of the WTO, because of the different agreements among the countries, multilateral agreements among the countries through the WTO, now these restrictions are just going to be decreased. But Americans, after the COVID has increased, after the Trump, Americans increased various barriers on the China-made goods. So countries are still not very much clear that whether they have to remove all the barriers or they have to create the hurdles. So when we talk about the integration of the world market, worldwide markets, it is possible because of the international trade. There is a huge increase in the international trade. Means imports and exports of the goods and services, trade increase internationally. Second, there is a huge fall in the trade barriers, the custom duties, the quotas. These restrictions have been decreased. And the number of firms increased. There is a huge competition among the firms increased. So that the consumer choice also. So there is a trade is taking place among the countries, the goods and services also. International trade routes increase. Goods trade, global trade in primary goods and paper products, older pictures. And these are the factors which are going to be discussed in this. So when we talk about the globalization, it means we are talking about the interconnection or interconnectedness of the economies, and we are talking about the compression of the time. The time is compressed, and in the coming lectures I will discuss with you about the factors which have created this global village-like situation, and just like these factors, these will be discussed in the next lecture.